our show.
All-lady Wonder Woman screenings.
Yes, and all the trolls are very upset about it. That and so much more right here today on Fat Man on Batman.
Who's that in Poison Ivy's garden? It's Kevin Smith and Marc and Kevin. Two Fat Men on Batman.
Welcome into Fat Man on Batman. I'm Kevin Smith.
I am Marc Bernardin.
We got a bunch of news in our fists that we're going to throw at you like, luck be a lady tonight.
Snake eyes.
I'm Nathan, and he's Sky, and we're doing a two-man version of, what was it? Guys and Dolls. Guys with no dolls. Guys and dolls, and our dolls are action figures.
Wow.
Thank you. My dad was always like, that's a doll. I'm like, it's an action figure. He's like, it's a doll.
It's got a kung fu grip, Dad.
Yeah.
Dolls don't have kung fu
If
grip.
you take its pants off and there's no dick, it's a doll. So my wife, that's my nickname. She calls me Doll.
Aww.
I don't know why.
That's so sweet.
In any event, enough with the fucking jokes. We're here for the news. Hit him with the news. Hit him with the news.
We got the news.
Hit him with the news.
What? Universal, Universal has monsters.
That's all Universal. Universal has so much. But they're trying to launch, or Avengers Eyes, their Universal Monsters characters, a.k.a., I was going to say Akka. The new Mummy movie that they're opening right now with Tom Cruise.
Is their second attempt to launch their universe. The first one was Dracula Untold.
Yeah, and they're like,
Oh,
the dogs are excited about that. They're like, fuck you, Dracula Untold rocked.
Children of the Night.
Only thing better is Dracula
Shut
2000. Nice. They got Russell Crowe playing Dr. Jekyll's Mr. Hyde, so they'll eventually do that movie. They got a Wolfman movie they could do. They got Creature movie they could do. But they're going to do all these Universal monster movies and then bring them together in one bash fest.
They're calling it the Dark Universe.
Which is why not just the Universal Monsters universe?
Just come on, like Dark Universe.
Because they're like, universe, we don't want to use the term. All right, Monsters Universe. Just call it that.
Yeah, just fucking, Monster Palooza.
Is that, do you think they're like, well, we can't sell monsters. Nobody wants to buy a monster. It's like, well, then why are you making these fucking movies?
Yeah, seriously. Also, Godzilla just made like $1 billion. Like, people are okay with monsters.
Use the word monster.
Don't be a monster cyst.
Dark.
Embrace the monster.
Dark Universe says a bunch of different things. You don't even know what it could be, man.
No.
Fucking Monster Universe?
Like, Dark Universe could be a store in a mall that you go to buy, like, it's like Spencer's Gifts, but for goths.
I like that. We should open that fucking store, man.
None more
Let me get on the phone.
Hello, Dark Universe.
Jesus, that could totally work. Like, what is the story when you go into the mall? Hot Topic.
Hot Topic.
They got a spin-off store called Box Lunch or Hot Tuna or some such shit. Dark Universe could totally be a spin-off store.
Right?
Yeah.
Just everything is fucking black and maroon and like just nothing but Morrissey plays.
A lot of skulls,
Oh,
candles and shit.
you would make some fucking money.
We don't need this show anymore. We're off to sell our wares at Dark Universe at your local mall. Kids are like, what's a mall? That's bullshit. Maybe kids out here don't go to the mall, but I was somewhere recently where like, what do you kids do? They're like, we hang out at the mall. I'm like, what? Still?
Like you get in a time machine and then go back to the 80s and hang out in the mall?
Yeah, but they do. Malls are still thriving, contrary to what you hear in the news.
Do you not get the internet in this town?
People are like, I tune into this show not for the fucking mall news, not Fat Man on malls, man. Get to the news. All right.
All
so
the mall that
universe.
fits the print.
Dark Universe is coming from Universal, and you can't stop it. It's coming like Frankenstein. It's lumbering at you and shit.
So Tom Cruise is kicking off in The Mummy.
And he's not the mummy. He's
not
a
the
guy
mummy.
who's like, holy shit, it's the mummy.
Right? He's like fortune hunter guy. Nick Morton, I think his name is. Yeah, which
They're going to possibly carry him over from movie to movie.
I think so. And I think Russell Crowe's Dr. Jekyll is sort of the glue that is. He heads up some weird-ass fucking company called the Prodigium Organization that's charged with tracking the world's monsters because he's a monster too.
You have to be a monster to fight monsters or gather them together. And then one day they'll put them all together to fight a common enemy. Use monsters to fight a common enemy. Is a theme taken directly. They didn't take it from, but what was my friends Brian and Walter did a comic book called War of the Undead. Was that it? War of the Undead, which I used that same theme. Like, let's bring the monsters and make them fight on behalf of the. I think they did that in DC Comics too, didn't they? Like Frankenstein and Wolverine and Dracula were recruited to fight against the Nazis.
Why wouldn't you? There was also once upon a time there's a comic book that I think he got optioned for a movie that never got made. It was like Dracula versus the Undead, and it was that Dracula was fighting on the side of mankind against zombies because vampires needless to say, prey on humans, and they need to protect their food source.
Oh, so how weird.
Super
So, we
weird.
need them. Oh my God,
Yeah, we
that's fucking dope. Because
Right?
if you're a human being, you're like, death by drowning or death by shark.
Right. Like they will keep us alive and let us breed because they need more of us, but they will also take care of the giant external threat that we can't deal with.
Is the enemy of my enemy my friend?
Indeed, I would watch the fuck out of that movie. Which
That's a
never
good
got
idea.
made.
Let's
Right?
make it. Nobody's making it. Fuck it. We claim the idea.
Planted
Zombies
a
vs.
flag.
vampires. Coming in 2018.
So they announced their cast of their monster verse.
Okay.
You get Tom Cruise as Nick Morton, fortune hunter.
One of the most famous monsters in Universal history.
Yeah,
Tom
his name
Cruise
is Nick
himself.
because Dick would be weird for the hero of a movie.
Especially Dick Martin.
Oh, Johnny Depp has signed on to play the Invisible Man.
What must it be like to work with Johnny Depp?
Tell us.
Boop, boop. Insert Tuscan Yoga Hosers clip here. Boop, boop. What would it be like to work successfully with Johnny Depp? Boop, boop. Blank screen. I worked successfully with him. He's a wonderful actor. Unfortunately, those movies didn't really connect with the world, but this will. Who's he playing? I mean, this will.
He's playing the Invisible Man.
So he will be the Invisible Man.
Yeah, which also seems a bit like
That's what we do here on Fat Man Batman. Mark says things and I repeat it.
seems like the most Johnny Depp role ever.
Probably.
Though, because like he seems to be very fond of covering himself in makeup and subsuming his
He likes to
visage.
disappear into the performance. Well, now
So-
he can flat out disappear in
Bye.
the performance. Once again, voice will be the most important aspect of this character, and his voice choice is usually what people go like, I like that.
Yeah. So Sophia Boutella is the mummy herself.
She's in the movie.
She's in the movie. And they got fucking Javier Bardem to play Frankenstein's monster.
Oh, that's pretty good.
That's fucking badass.
Yeah, that's good casting. Why isn't that the big news? Like that's pretty good casting. I could see that now.
And like that's the first Bride of Frankenstein.
That
is the
dude
first
from
movie off the
fucking
pike.
No Country for Old Men.
Yeah.
Douche. As
Anton
Frankenstein.
Chigurh.
Who?
Anton Chigurh was his name in No Country for Old Men.
That was his name. What was his name in the Bond movie where he had half a face where he took out his fake jaw? He was like, yeah, put it back in. I was fucked up. I was like, I never seen that coming. Fucking A.
It's like saggy face.
Oh my God. Is that even possible? My wife's like, no. I'm like, well, movies.
Come on.
One day it will be because somebody dreamed it up for Bond. That's good casting. Right
That's great
on.
casting.
That is fucking
Like he's got
good.
an awesome face. Like
For
this
it. I
huge,
know.
like
Which
Roman
I'm sure
nose.
he's sitting there listening. Well, if he ever listened to the show, he's
Right.
like, why is that awesome casting?
Because my face is wide.
Yeah, you think I look like a monster? You know who didn't think I looked like a monster? Penelope Cruz.
Yes. You know who else? Your mama.
I fuck all your mamas.
Your mama's come to me.
Like that was the press conference announcing Javier Bardem as Frankenstein. We're really off the rails, but you heard it here first. He's gonna fuck all your mothers.
I'm going to put the Ritz on your shits in your house with your mama.
Bardem, at it again. Thank you, Javier Bardem. Anyway, come see our new movies.
Bride of Frankenstein.
Mummy's out on Friday.
But yeah, Bride of Frankenstein is the first one after the Mummy.
So who's gonna be the bride?
They haven't cast it yet. They're casting now. They will announce the bride soon.
It's funny because she's the main character.
I know. I mean, it's the bride.
Name
of
comes
Frankenstein.
first.
And
Bride
also-
of Frankenstein.
And he's not even Frankenstein.
He's
a monster.
Frankenstein's monster, so it should be Bride of the Monster. Or Bride of Frankenstein's monster. Like too many words.
Yeah, just fucking the bride. Like, can we get
They
Sting?
did that once.
Sting and Jennifer Beals. This would
I
be
actually
great.
like that movie, man. Who played the monster? I can't. Oh, it was
Clancy Brown.
Clancy. Yeah. That was wow, going way back.
I love that movie.
And Jennifer Beals was the bride. And Sting was Dr. Frankenstein.
The most emo Dr. Frankenstein ever.
And then remember he was on a tear. He was in that. Remember he was.
Dude.
I will kill him. Fade.
Who's the little one? A pet, perhaps?
Dark Universe is coming. You can't.
It's coming. Nobody's stopping it.
And boy, it looks expensive.
They're going to spend all the money.
I mean, good Lord. All right, so that's a good thing.
That's good.
What else we got? Can we get out of here? Get off the set. Dogs walking around the set. It's like we're
Hot
shooting
set.
this in like rural America. There's fucking dogs just walking through the set.
Moo. Alamo Drafthouse decided that it would be an awesome idea, and I see no fault in their logic, to hold Wonder Woman screenings, fan screenings, which
Yeah.
they're doing. They've absolutely been kind of seeding the word of Wonder Woman in events in L.A., in New York, and so Alamo was like, let's just have a ladies-only Wonder Woman screening. Let's
What?
fucking girl power. Let's just
Woman only screening?
the
That
troops.
outrages nothing in me.
I mean,
I'm sure nobody got mad about this. Because it's a good idea and fun.
because it's a good idea. I mean, yes, it's marketing and it's total marketing, and that's fine. But also, it's fucking Wonder Woman. Like, what? How?
Some people, I was at the screening. We went to the
Yeah.
screening. We went to see that screening on Wednesday. It was like a advanced hype screening for fan screening. As the lights went down right before the fucking credits start, some girl yelled out in the back. Girl, she was a woman. She's going, "I've been waiting my whole life for this." You know, that's love. That's awesome.
It's like, so apparently 49% of the internet got butthurt about it.
I wonder which side. Bunch of women going like, "We don't want this.
We don't want anything for us. We demand integrated screenings.
How fucking, like, man, if we had insect overlords, nobody would give a fuck about this. You think they'd complain about, like, there's a ladies only screening of Wonder Woman that I can't go to. I think it's unfair. What about the men only screenings? When are they going to start those? But if we had insect overlords,
Nothing.
people would be like, we all got to band together to fight the insect overlords and shit. And like, what about the women only Wonder Woman screenings? And be like, we'll deal with that another time.
We have more pressing issues.
People are fucking... people fucking baffle me. To borrow a line from Good Will Hunting. Why would anyone get mad about that?
Because it's a thing that you don't get to have, and I want it because they have it.
It's just in principle. It's a principle thing.
It's a principle thing. And, like, listen, there is absolutely a line that Wonder Woman belongs to everybody. She just doesn't belong to women. And yet, the fact that this is the first female-led superhero movie.
There are 3,000 theaters showing this fucking movie.
Yeah, on Friday.
There's maybe 1, 2, or 3, let's say fucking max 5 that are for women only. You're going to get upset about those
and also,
odds?
just one screening. Not like you
They
can't
added
ever
2.
come.
I know they've added a
Did they?
second. Yeah, the first one was so successful, they added the second.
But it's
and that's
not,
when shit
But it's
got
not as if
out of hand.
the theater won't ever let dudes in. It's the screening.
Just focus your rage into something useful. Like, jerk off. Don't. If next time you think like, this pisses me off. You mean I couldn't go to this screening even if I wanted to, even though I don't live in this fucking state and I'm probably not going to go see Wonder Woman? Well, I'm going to go fucking focus my rage on the internet. Before you waste your time, just stop and go like, or would I rather masturbate?
Even fucking hatester bait.
Would I rather come? Wouldn't coming feel better than anything I'm about to do? Here, let me see. And you'll do it, and you'll be like, well, that was satisfying. Let me try this. Oh, my God. Everything's right. Everything's right. I don't give a fuck about a Wonder Woman screening I can't go to. What was wrong with me? Just think.
Yeah. And, I mean, and nobody complained. Basically, 50 Shades of Grey were nothing but women-only screenings.
Yeah.
And that was totally fine. Come on, guys.
You know what? This doesn't offend me in the least, man. Let me tell you something. If I got to the theater and they're like, we only do fat guy screenings on Friday, so come the fuck in, fat guy. I'd be like, oh, all right, what a weird coincidence.
All right, you just going to bring popcorn to the seat for me? I don't even have to get up.
What exactly makes it fat guy night? Because you may be changing my entire week. Do you bring the fat guy food to me?
Is there a tube that you just lower into my face?
Can I watch the movie at home? I'll pay theater prices. And then you get into a big argument about the shrinking exhibition window, and it's just a nightmare.
It's a whole thing.
So, long story short, fucking get off their dicks. Alamo Drafthouse, one of the greatest organizations on the planet. You know, there are some places where it's like, I'm not an investor, but if I could invest money, there are places I'd invest it in shit. If there was a way to invest in Apple, I would do that.
Would you now?
If there was a way to invest in, what else do I use? Like the deck that I record my podcasts on.
If there was a way to invest in weed,
I would do that.
if only there was a market for such things.
But if I was an investor, I would fucking invest in the Alamo Drafthouse. Like, I believe in that, what they do. It's like, oh my God, that's so smart. You can eat chicken and watch a movie and have a beer if you want a beer. I want an iced tea unsweetened. I can have an unsweetened iced tea and fucking chicken and fries. Well, I added fries. See, that's how I got fat. I keep adding to the meal, Mark. God damn it. Why couldn't I have just had the chicken?
And the fries. And the nacho cheese.
Well, no, you got to have the nacho cheese.
I mean, if you're not going to do that.
But I got an unsweetened iced tea, so it all balances.
That's all right.
But that's the kind of
4
shit.
cheeseburgers and a tab.
That's the kind of shit you could do at the Alamo Drafthouse.
I've never been to a draft house.
Really? A
I've
Bruin
never been.
View, as they call it?
Well, I've never been to an Alamo Draft House.
They're really great.
I've
Oh
heard
my
tell
God.
the
There's-
legends of the Alamo
The
Drafthouse.
one in Austin that I went to,
The
like,
great granddaddy of them all.
well, the one that they like we spent a fuck ton more building it out with theme rooms, and you could play karaoke and shit like that. Oh, it's like madness. But it's like, it's what every movie theater should be. It feels like it's a party every time. I know this is becoming a commercial for Alamo Drafthouse, but it's like it's a fucking party every time you go to the movies. I went to see, what did I go see? Oh, we went to the Wonder Woman premiere. And, I ain't bitching or anything like that. Everyone was wonderful, but
And some food.
how about a little something for the effort? I drove 20 minutes to Burbank. I would like some snacks. And, it's a simple kind of like, here's your corn, here's your fucking
you're in a
nachos.
multiplex.
I like it when here we added a little touch to it, a little something special. Like, here's my identity. You walk around the Alamo Drafthouse, you get the impression it was not made by a corporation, but people that love movies.
I fell in love with the idea of the Drafthouse. Again, commercial for Drafthouse. When
It's a good place.
they announced they were doing these Lord of the Rings screenings, where they were screening the entire trilogy, like Fellowship all the way to Return of the King, and then you would eat. They would bring you food along the way, which is what the hobbits ate. So it's like, the beginning, you eat like rabbit and stew, and then you get like the lemless bread, which is fucking shortbread cookies, and then you get like, hey, we're in fucking the elf place, and we're having awesome elf food.
How awesome is that?
And then by the end, it's just gruel because you're on the slopes of Mount Doom, and it's like thin,
At the end, is it a giant eagle that everybody eats? Because it shows up to save the
giant
the
fucking
hobbits?
turkey legs.
It's like, thank you, bird.
But that level of both culinary engagement and fan
And
awesomeness.
curating the actual screening as
Yeah,
well.
like,
Tim
fuck.
League and his Alamo Drafthouse. We salute you.
Way to go.
All right, so
So
there's
yes.
a woman-only Wonder Woman screening coming up at the Drafthouse, but I think they're sold out, so you're kind of screwed.
so-
But no, that's not true. They've expanded it. It was they were just doing it at one Drafthouse screen. Now they're expanding it to, I think they have a Drafthouse in Colorado, and they have some
Yeah, Brooklyn, San Francisco.
wherever the draft houses are. I believe they're hosting women-only Wonder Woman screening because there was a lot of like appreciation for it and anticipation for it. And some people don't want to go sit next to somebody who's just like, this bullshit. Fuck this movie, Marvel forever, or whatever the fuck, or maybe they just want to see the movie amongst a bunch of women as their character. They've loved her forever and stuff.
You know who else has women-only screenings? AMC. They have mommy screenings on like 10:30, 11 o'clock in the mornings on Tuesdays. So you can be a mom who never gets to go out to the movies with like an infant or whatever in a theater full of moms with infants. And it's just, you know what? Everybody's kid is going to be screaming. Everybody's kid is going to be a pain in the ass. But you want to go see a fucking movie? We're making a safe space for you to do that. Nobody bitches about that.
Where's all the complaints for that?
Yeah, like where's all the fucking dads with infants? Like, I want to go too. No, they're
I want a
sleeping.
dad screening. Every screening's a dad screening. All right, man. Moving on from that. We're done being political.
Yes, instead we're going to be a little bit sad. We're going to be memorial.
Is that really before we hit that? Let's do this before we hit that.
You want to do that before that? All right.
DC Superhero Girls is having a TV show.
Huh?
They were little shorts on the internet and on, I don't know where else they ran them, but I love them. I love the theme song. Get your cape on and let's take a flight. We can be who we like.
Wow.
Right?
Did
Get your
Levert do the
cape
theme song?
on. And what is it? Something time. Save the world from crime. Get your cape on. It's fucking dope. We're DC Superhero Girls. It's good. They're fun. They take the entire DC universe and they stick them in like a fucking high school setting, some school setting.
Why the fuck would you not do that?
It's adorable. It's a fun. It's adorable fucking show. And the line of products that they've made for it, like the toys and shit, look fantastic. I know Pern, the girl who designed a lot of them. I follow her on Instagram, man. She's a genius.
That's awesome.
She did a picture of, she did a Yoga Hosers picture, which still hangs on my kid's wall.
No.
And she did a picture of me and Ralph once, really good. She's got like this beautiful animation style. So she designed the look of those characters, gave Batgirl the hoodie with the dope,
that's great.
dope shit.
So yeah, it's like Wonder Woman, Supergirl, Batgirl. They're adding Bumblebee, Zatanna, and Jessica Cruz, who's a Green Lantern.
Oh.
They're adding a lady, Hispanic Green Lantern. And it's fucking high school. Like,
Yes.
why not?
And everyone's around, and like the competing teams are like, oh, it's the female Furies, Lashina and stuff. Like she's
That's
the mean
awesome.
girl in high school and stuff like that. Harley Quinn is the jokester. She's also there.
Oh, that's great.
It's good stuff.
Yeah,
man.
so they
I'm
started
glad
production.
they're picking it up. Who's doing it?
Cartoon Network, Warner Brothers Animation. Sam Register is executive producer, and Lauren Faust, I think, is heading it up. And
She did My Little Pony, but the new one.
Yeah, and
she
Powerpuff
created
Girls.
the Brony craze, and the Powerpuff Girls reboot.
Yeah.
Which I haven't watched. How was it?
I haven't watched either. And I
Not
love
because
the
I'm against
Powerpuff
it.
Girls.
I fucking loved the Powerpuff. Craig McCracken. I thought it was
yes.
absolute fucking genius, man.
Joe.
I mean, it's like I've watched it. I started watching it because I had a little daughter who was watching it, but like then I was like, this is straight out comedy.
She doesn't
Checking.
care. I want
It's a
this.
rug. Fuck, she's trying to tear into that rug.
Tear shit up.
All right, we end today's episode on a sad note.
We do. Sir Roger Moore. For a vast part of my life, he was my James Bond.
Mine too.
Like
'cause
not
he was
my
my
first.
dad's James
was
Bond.
it your dad's? It wasn't my first Bond. The first Bond movie I ever saw was Never Say Never Again.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
That's honestly the first Bond movie. No, because I saw a lot of Roger Moore's in the theater. But the first Sean Connery Bond movie I saw was Never Say Never Again with Kim Basinger.
Yeah.
Where they play the video game.
Klaus
at one point.
Maria Brandauer.
Yes, and he fucking grabs the shit and throws it in his face, and it's like James Bond urine sample. Because the guy's like, ah! Look at that acid. That was a good flick. But Roger Moore was the Bond when we were children. He had replaced, first there was Sean Connery, then George Lazenby came in for like a red hot minute.
For a hot beat.
And then Roger Moore took it over, and, Spy Who Loved Me, Live and Let Die,
Man
Moonraker,
with the Golden Gun. Spy Who Loved Me.
which I said,
Octopussy.
View to a Kill, Octopussy.
Octopussy was the one my mom wouldn't let me watch because it was called Octopussy.
There are words right in the title, Mark.
You can't see that.
this.
That's not good for you.
But Mom, it's only Maud Adams. I don't care. She was in Tattoo, and that was rated R.
there is
as
nobody
well.
sexy named Maud.
Like Martha Bowski.
Very well, yeah.
There was a time when your James Bond would, do something heroic and then make a dry quip about it. Sounds familiar. They do it in all these superhero movies all the time. This shit originated in James Bond movies.
Yes.
Huge action sequence, many people dead, pithy response at the end.
Yes. When
Credits.
you electrocute Odd Job, you then say
Shocking. Arnold would later go on to steal it, to be like, that's a good idea. Get your ass to Mars.
You're frozen.
You're terminated. It's not a tumor.
I used to see you.
Everybody owes everything to Roger Moore. No, he was a wonderful Bond. At the end of his life, he got in a little bit of trouble. Remember, he was just like, I don't think Idris Elba should be Bond. And everyone was like, shh, yes, come on, you're almost there.
You're 88 years old.
Stop
Just
it.
fucking write it out, man.
But other than that, from all reports, and like a very sweet, worked charitable events,
very much so.
was a big animal lover, helped the animal community and stuff like that.
There was this great story that
Community. Helped them rise and take over Planet of the Apes. It's all because of Roger Moore.
Yeah, it was in Rolling Stone. It was this Bono thing from a few years back where he talks about being at this hotel in Monaco, and he couldn't get into the hotel because he was dressed as fucking Bono, and this was a high-end, classy establishment. And so he's standing in the lobby in like a vest and a t-shirt and ripped jeans and his hair because he's Bono. And he wants to go in, and fucking Roger Moore walks in, and he's like, Bono, what's the problem? And he's like, well, I can't. I'm not. Just like, it's fine, don't worry, we'll deal with it. And so Roger Moore talks to the guy, says, it's all right, it's fucking Bono. And Bono's like, yeah, I'm going to go and meet Jay-Z. Do you want to meet Jay-Z? And Roger Moore's like, who's that? Jay-Z, the biggest rapper in the world. And Bono's like, fuck it, let's go meet Jay-Z. And then he's a little concerned because here's a 75-year-old white dude who's going to go meet a 31-year-old rap mogul and had no idea.
In Monte Carlo.
In Monte Carlo. And had no idea if Jay-Z knew who the hell Roger Moore was. And then he walks over, and Jay-Z is sitting with like, his entire phalanx of awesome dudes. Like, I think fucking Kanye West might have been there. Beyonce was there. And suddenly it's, fucking James Bond is here? Holy. And Bono's like, yeah, it turns out that everybody loves James Bond. And, the image of James Bond, the super refined, ultra cool, ladies' man, gadgets, money, luxury, plays directly into everything that rap was about. And so in the same way that Scarface for some reason was some huge...
Or Trump back in the day.
Fucking James Bond has always been just rolling right there.
That's an awesome, charming story. Somewhere there must be a photo of all them together too. You'd have
There
to
have
imagine.
to be.
But at the same time, the character has gone through many permutations and incarnations with different actors. The current incarnation of Bond, very...
Yeah, it's very like harkening back.
I'm serious.
Harkening back to the Connery Bond, which for as light as he was, like he was a bruiser. He was a little bit of a thug, and that's absolutely what they embrace now. But Roger Moore was like fun Bond.
How'd they find fun Bond? Do you remember?
He was in The Saint.
There it is.
He was the original Simon Templar.
Simon Templar, the Saint.
And I
on
think,
TV, and they looked at him. They're like, "Wow, he's kind of
charming."
Bondish."
You know, and I think they wanted him when Connery stepped down, but he was still committed to the Saint.
So they went with George.
They went with George Lazenby, who turns out to have been an erroneous decision, and then they finally worked their way back around to Roger Moore, who did like 7 or 8 of them.
Tim Daly was a Bond once.
Timothy Dalton.
Tim Daly. Tim Daly from Wings was the American Bond, wasn't he, Mark? Timothy Dalton. Did he do it once or twice?
He did it twice.
So Lazenby is the only guy who ever did Bond once?
Not counting David Niven.
Who did him in Casino Royale with Woody Allen.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's all the Bond we got for you, man.
That's it. Fare thee well.
It's a Bond hotline ringing in right now.
Hello? What?
What's that? There was another Bond we forgot? There it is, folks. That's all the news we got to print, man. For Fat Man, I'm Batman. I'm Kevin Smith.
And I'm Mark Bernard.
Come back next episode where we'll probably be reviewing
The Wonder Woman.
Same fat time, same fat channel. Smodcast.com or
YouTube.com/Kevin Smith.